let's look at some intervals. So C to G. There's your fifth. There's your fourth. Now, what is this in relation to C? This is what we call the tritone. There's a lot of tension there, and it wants to resolve. It wants to resolve up to a G or down to a fourth. But that fourth usually serves as some kind of passing tone. And when a passing tone, it means that you're going down to something that wants to be even more sonorous and have more of a resolution. So there's your fourth. So see how that third sounds more harmonic than that fourth, right? Dun, dun. It sounds like it wants to go somewhere to resolve, right? It wants to go up to that G, and the perfect fifth is a very sonorous thing. In fact, the most harmonic and interval is the octave. Right? But that G also is called perfect. So you have perfect octave. In fact, an octave is called perfect because it has that very homey feel. It's very resolved. So is that fifth. So is that fourth. It's slightly less than a fifth, but it's still very sonorous and harmonic, so they call it perfect. Now, the one in between has lots of tension. In fact, the tritone is probably the most dissonant of intervals, and the octave, perfect octave, is the most consonant interval. Then the next most consonant interval is a fifth, then that perfect fourth, and then you get into a major third, right? Major third, minor third, which has more tension, and the major third sounds more happy, and that minor third sounds more dissonant. It's still a consonant, more of a consonant sound than that tritone, which has lots of tension in it. But that minor third is kind of like a sad, right? Happy, sad, right? And then there's your major second, your minor second. Obviously, your minor second has a lot of tension in there, and it wants to resolve to that perfect octave or that perfect unison, which is what I'm playing, right? Both of those C's are the same frequency. So because I'm playing them both at the same time, that interval is called a unison. And that minor second wants to resolve to that perfect octave, or it wants to resolve up to the major second. But that major second is usually still has some intensity into it, and it wants to resolve to even something more consonant. Hear that? So see how you can end on that and it sounds fulfilling? Now you could end it there or go up to that fifth. And that interval sounds even more consonant than that major. So it's important to understand the consonants versus the dissonance in your playing, because that's how you resolve emotional states, because music is all about generating an emotional response, and our ears naturally hear what is consonant and what is dissonant. But now if I were to play that B, establish that B as the tonic or the one or home, right? Right, so there's the perfect unison. Here is the minor second. Here's the major second. Here's the minor third. Here's the major third. Here's the perfect fourth. There is the tritone or diminished fifth, right? So here's the fifth. Camelot. So there's your fifth. Here's your fourth. And here is your diminished fifth or augmented fourth. Both the same thing. A diminished fourth, or excuse me, an augmented fourth is a diminished fifth. Kind of like how G flat is the same thing as F sharp, right? So there's your fifth. Here's your minor sixth, major sixth. There is your minor seventh, which has that dominant feel. And here's your major seventh. And the major seventh always wants to resolve up to the tonic, right? Up to the octave. In fact, that major seventh is what is also termed a leading tone. And that leading tone always wants to resolve up. Ti, do, la. And it's usually something that comes right before the ending of a song.